Michelangelo painted this statue of Moses. See if I can get some of the details on this. The hands, look at the veins, look at this. Look at that. The face. Set in this beautiful altar as well. Look at this. This is inside the church. Inside the church. These are supposedly the chains that St. Peter was held in captivity when he was awaiting execution. And the name of this church is actually St. Peter's Chains. The whole thing. I'm going to pan up and take a little bit of this canopy on the altar. It's beautiful, all gold. Nice. A lot of stuff is being reconstructed here in Italy. All these antiquities. And if we go all the way up, there's not a whole lot of light. I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see. There's all frescoes in this church too. Try to take some. It takes a while for it to come into focus. It's really far away. These were done by an artist called Battista. Of course, the Moses that I showed you before was done by Michelangelo. I'm going to pan over this way. Take a look at these pipes for the pipe organ. Look at that in gold. Never seen anything like that. Look at that. Look at that. Also, there's no electrical light in here at all. All the lighting in here is from the outside. You pan down these columns going to the back of the church. Look at these columns, and they go all the way to the back. Notice the light that comes in. There's the front door, and here's the frescoes that are in the main atrium. All this marble work in all these churches are unbelievable. I think I might be upside down for this side. And of course the other side is the same thing. All the way through around the statue of
Good job.
Got me?
Ah, see. Good job. Now, that's a nice picture. That's ocean. You see how big it really is. Look at these people. Look at this. It's a Sunday afternoon at the Trevi Fountain at about 20 after 4. Look at these people. That's our group right there. We're spread taking pictures. Look at that. Unbelievable crowd. Unbelievable. And they said that we're not even in the tourist season. You hear the sound of the water. It's a beautiful fountain now. Huge. Huge. Too many people. This is
We're on our way to the Pantheon. This is a typical Roman side street here. You notice the dining al fresco. Here's D. Hey D. There you go. There you go. All right, all right. There you go. Hello. That's really loud. You hear it?
I would have to stay here another week in jail.
Here's Dee Dee. Hey! There you go, standing in front of the Pantheon. This is a very young building. This is only about 2,000 years old. And this is the actual face that you see. Let me see if I can zoom in on some of the details here. You can see it pretty good. You can even closer than that. There you go. And the artwork is just like incredible. Look up here, look at that. It's 2,000 years old. Look at the detail. It's unbelievable. And there's the other corner. Okay. And I think those are Anderson windows there. We're just going down the street just to give you a feel of the city. Look at some of the other buildings. Look at this. Down the same street. There's a lot of people here. This is down the street from the Trevi Fountains, which we just left.
Because the weight is too much. And the sense and the weight, it doesn't resist. So after, all of the ancient Rome, they could ever build, they could ever gold. So here the last of the gold, because it's made with something, the fire. The very top of the art, the very top of the dome, is made with something, and the bottom is the stone. The bombs are how nice they are. So actually that is made, and I tell you, the dome here has no any skeleton or a wooden base or an iron base that support. This is a dome which has been completely poured into kind of wooden forms. And then built up, all at the top. By the ancient Roman times, the dome had covered with the bronze. Nice. Rio de la Plata. Ganges, Danube. The four rivers that represent the four continents of the world. Nile is for Africa. Rio de la Plata is a river of Argentina, but represents America. Ganges, the river of India, represents Asia. Danube is the river of Hungary and Austria, and it represents Europe. Okay? Now the statue here in front of us, you see, which is a statue turned backward with a towel, like a towel over the head. And the statue representing the Nile River. Now in the 1600s, they sourced the beginning of the Nile River was unknown. Stuff that we have to wait only in 1800 when two Englishmen, gentlemen, Stanley and Livingstone, they discovered the spring source of the river.
Give me some money for all this thing. Very good. Where's your wallet? Give me some money. Let me go put some money.
Hold on, I gotta see. Now he stopped.
second spectacle is the gladiators combats, the gladiators fights, like this. Two gladiators fighting each other here. Now, where you see the red balcony here, that's what the spot where the emperor sit down to enjoy the spectacle. And as you remember from the Hollywood movies, when a gladiator beat the other one, he had to look at the emperor. If the emperor put the thumb down, had to kill him. Thumb up saved the life. Most of the time the thumb was up. Sometimes down had to kill him. Sometimes the emperor gave the choice to the crowd. It means when the gladiator look at the emperor, if the emperor would have turned one way to the crowd, was the crowd by shouting to see to kill him or not. And most of the time it was to kill him. So you see the crowd wasn't the emperor supposed to. Now over here, spectators were over around year 500. Year 500 they closed it up, no more spectators here. Now for 1,000 years, all over Middle Ages, the Colosseum even became a condominium. They are homeless, living within the arches all the way around. To come to the 1500 when it was used as a very precious quarry. All the section we've been walking by around the corner here, that's all the pouch has been demolished to have all the marbles in St. Peter's. Instead, what we saw before, from up here, that was the original part of the Colosseum, with the original marbles still left. And that's actually what happened to the Colosseum. Now, let's walk around here. I want to show it to you something else. Time for your pictures here. You see the lowest part, you see those corridors. This is where the cages were, downstairs, where all the animals, the gladiators were kept. Right up above, all the way through, there was a wooden stage, up on which the gladiators were put. You see the cross on the left-hand side of the stairs. That's the stage where the emperor, over there was an imperial temple, where the emperor stood down to the Then, straight ahead of you, you see they had rebuilt a section of the seats, so you can tell the way they were those things. Where 50,000 marble feet all the way around on kilos, all the way around. Right? All the animals downstairs. And that was the capacity of the car. All the people downstairs looking at them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you see here those bridge arches. These were the supporting arches upon which the troops were built. Right ahead of you, you can see that.
I want to look at it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you some. Who's going to hang on the cross? Over here, I'll meet you right behind you, right there. Where did the emperor? Right over that cross? Right over there by the cross. Look at this whole thing set up. Down here. It's only 50 feet.
It was 5 minutes. That's the body. All the chambers. Hi.
Tomorrow we go home.
I know.
Too bad.
This is amazing. 2,000 years old, and we're standing here.
Down there's where they used to have they used to keep the animals. The gladiators would fight the animals, lions and tigers. And they'd have cages down there.
And we found out something very interesting from the tour guide. The reason this is only partially here is not because of decay. It's because around 1500 they started to dismantle this and take the marble blocks that made the tiers in the seats and use them to build St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. So this was used as a marble quarry. Otherwise, it would have been totally intact. This is a section where seats were that were all marble that they ripped out.
Should we get a picture together?
Unbelievable. Ciao, Bellas.
Ciao, Bella.
I think that would be here.
What do you think, huh?
Yeah, this is nice.
Unbelievable.
Emperor Trajan made in Romania. It is like a book. There are 2,500 personages carved all the way around. Now, this column have been carved and placed over here in the year 110, so have been standing here for about 1,900 years. Without doubt, the best well-preserved and the most important Roman work of art. Now, don't worry about the big monument on the left-hand side. There is a tiny balcony. Can you spot it? The balcony straight ahead, first floor. Was Mussolini's place. That was the balcony along which the Italian dictator Mussolini appeared for his speeches. Because the palace itself in Virginia, and that's the place where any important national celebration takes place, here at the Victor Emmanuel Monument, the symbolization of the unification of our country. It's one of the very last monuments built up in here. It was built up in the left from the Temple of Venus. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
and now here on the right-hand side, it is Julius Caesar's funeral. Right down here on the right-hand side,
Where's your
his
camera?
body
Here.
was cremated.
Oh.
And right here, Mark Antony made his famous oration after the cremation of the dead body of Julius Caesar. Oration which has been retaken by Shakespeare, right? I'm here not to praise Caesar, I'm here just to bury him. So in a few words, right inside was the these words, you can imagine the way they were originally and the way they were decorated. You know, we in the emperors, the most important person in the world, let's say, you can imagine the way
That's where they live.
they rested right there. Nice view, straight ahead of you, St. Peter's Dome, you see? That's where we're heading right now,
That's where the emperors lived.
to the Vatican. You see the very right, the very top of those two bridges are linking the island with the mainland since year 62 AD. Would you believe it?
62
Those two
AD.
bridges are
Those
about
bridges are
130 years old,
1930 years
still
old.
working.
No, not out. Got it? Howard, want me to take a shot?
Yes, please. I keep moving the camera.
Okay, we gotta go here. Very good. All right.
Stop for a minute.
Let's see if I can.
All right, we're on our way to the church, the Basilica of St. Peter. We're facing the church. We're on the right, walking towards it through the corridors here. And that's our tour guide right there, Svachim.
Okay.
That's where the Pope comes out and speaks to everybody. Good detail on that. Look at that. Michelangelo is the architect on this building.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait.
That's all right.
If it's an aim and shoot, if you do that, if you could still, it'll take about pretty good. I mean,
70,000
it's not going to be great.
people fit in here. Holy moly.
I've been to some projects twice in my life. When I went in, it was a picture, and it is a picture.
The church, the
One is the
Pope's
first
altar.
one here, it's a north.
You see him saying mass on it, right here.
Like I said, 70,000 people.
This is the most incredible
Now let's
thing
get a better
I've
picture
ever
when we
seen.
go. Let's go back to the picture.
Oh, we're moving again.
As we're here, we got the very heart of the church. Since we're here, we under the dome, first of all. The highest dome in the world. The most important Michelangelo's
How high is it?
architectural structure, yes. Architectural structure, better. Frankly speaking, Michelangelo rebuilt the whole church only to hold up the dome. was the dome to him the most important thing in here. The dome can be considered Michelangelo's materialization of a spiritual escalation of the earth towards the heaven. So to him, to Michelangelo, the dome was symbolizing the shortest distance within our world and our Lord. The highest in the world, 420 feet high.
420.
Right beneath the dome here comes the canopy, the bronze canopy, carved by Bernini. Not the bronze taken from the Pantheon. And the canopy here was made to protect the papal altar, right there. Along there is a Peter's tomb. It means down below stands the tomb of the very first pope in our history, Peter. Up above, the altar of his successor. And John Paul II, actual pope, it is the 264th successor of Peter.
The wings on here are 7 feet. Just to give you an idea of the enormity of this golden structure.
Did you hear what he said? That's 7 feet wide?
7 feet wide. I heard him. I just said it. That's the throne where the Pope will sit. Under the altar. Look at these gold pieces. Look at this. You never saw such beauty in your life. And beyond the big dome.
Oh, God.
These are all small mosaic tiles. This is just a side ceiling leading to one of the many hundred chapels that run off of the main altar.
For the purpose of elevating the whole church to the mosaic. In here, whatever looks like a painting is not. It's all mosaic tile.
All mosaic. Look at that. That's the chair close up. Look at this. This is the chair of Peter. This is behind the dome.
This school has been going on for about 500 years plus Rome, and it's been recognized as the greatest in the world. When the church was built up, right away 500 mosaics as big as this have been made for the church by those Vatican artists. Now, at the Vatican Mosaic production,
This is the tomb of Pope Alexander VII in 1600. Bernini did this. This is one solid piece of marble. You have to see the way this marble juts out. I don't even know if these pictures are going to come out good.
Let's go straight.
This is mosaic tile, would you believe? Close enough to see the tiles. See them? There's another Pope's tomb. There's 164 popes buried there.
On the other, sort of an eagle, a lion, and the 5 cats. Each pope got its own coat of arms.
You have no idea the massive construction of this
The
is.
door with the cross over, cement. That's called the Holy Door. That door is all
The Pope tomb. Those are the holy doors. He's just saying they only get opened every 25 years. Inside there, it's all gold. You can't believe it. There's 24 side altars here. All these mosaics. These are no paintings in here. All mosaics. The whole thing, right? So there was, this piece. Face. Their face. They have this blocked off. You can't get any closer. They have it behind a glass wall where we have to stand because somebody came in and vandalized it back in the 60s. So you can't get very, very close.
And that's the chimney is on the edge,
That's the
left
balcony
hand
that
side.
he
The
comes
halfway
out of.
down on the edge,
This
there's
is
a
not
little
coming out good
pipe,
at all,
that's
though.
the chimney. And that is
Did you get the other one too?
That thing up there, yeah.
Right there.
This
right
building
there.
is where the Pope comes out and blesses everybody.
Over there on the right on the top floor.
Second from the right on the top floor.
Hey, D. These are tapestries by Raphael. Look at the detail. The arms, the hands, the veins. I'm going to go back and get the full view of this tapestry. Tapestry is huge. It's really hard to get the whole thing in one shot. Look at that. And this is how they were able to tell how the Romans lived, by all these tapestries and statues. This is the corridor that leads to the Sistine Chapel. I'm going down now. There's more light in here so you can really see the ceiling. Every one of these is painted by a famous artist, Raphael. Look at that. It's like they're all facing the other way. You think they want to come out.
It is allowed. Nobody can do that. So, outside here through those lights, I'm going to tell you about the paintings that you're going to see in the chapel. And in the chapel, I'm going to give you that playtime. Allora, here's the chapel here. The very tiny one, eh? Little one. Built in the year 1475, commissioned by Pope Sixtus. So here's the name. From Sixtus, Sistine Chapel. As soon as it was built, those artists, Perugino, Pinturicchio, Botticelli, Signorelli, Ghirlandaio, which means la crème de la crème of the Florentine Renaissance school. All these artists have been commissioned to paint the side walls. On one side, 6 pictures about the last judgment, excuse me, the Old Testament, life of Moses on one side, opposite side, life of Christ, the New Testament. One or the other, done by these artists that was before Michelangelo. Michelangelo was commissioned to paint the ceiling in 1500. First refused because he said, well, I'm not a painter, I'm not going to do this, I'm not able to. But you know what, in those days, when a Pope called, no way to escape it, and even a strong personal like Michelangelo was at what said the papal commission. The ceiling, which is right here, this is the whole ceiling. 6,000 square feet area, upon a height of about 55 feet. He had built up scaffolding, which kept him 2 feet away from the ceiling. And standing, lay on his neck like this, in 4 years he did the work up. 1508, 1512. Those are the dates of the Sistine Chapel. Look, 9 pictures,
Almost 500 years
9
old.
frescoes, the very heart of the chapel, showing you the Genesis, the creation of the world. God separated light from darkness. God created the planetary system. God separated air from water. This one here, the creation of Adam, a very first picture of the world. Our Lord, just by touching Adam's finger, gave life to him. The creation of Eve from the rib of the sleeping Adam. The original sin and dispatcher from the heaven. The sacrifice of Noah, the universal flood, and the last one here is the drunkenness of Noah. So 9 pictures showing you the main acts of the Genesis. All the way around in the triangles that are all the ancestors of Christ, from the house of David to the Virgin Mother. It took Michelangelo 4 years to do it, alone. When I say alone, I mean that nobody could even enter over here when he was walking here. Magic touched one of his paintings. So he was the one who told, started, and finalized the whole job all by himself. 1512, he finished. He left Rome, went back to Florence. 24 years later, he was already on his 60s. He was called again to work in here because there was something missing. Why?
Last Judgment.
The decoration of the chapel shows to you the whole Christian theology that you have. Upon the ceiling, the Genesis, the creation of the world. Upon the side walls, you've got the bases, Old and New Testament, right? It was the last judgment which was missing. So Michelangelo was commissioned to do this in the year 1535. Jesus is the ideal central point of the whole composition, scaring everybody, calling everybody to the last judgment. You see, there's a huge rotation around him made by his gesture. With the right hand, he's calling the good ones to the heaven. The left hand is throwing the bad ones to the hell. You see here the angels fighting against the damned ones to God. All around Christ, all saints and martyrs. Down here, St. Lawrence holding the grill. It was grilled alive in Rome. Next to San Bartholomew holding his skin. It was a skinned alive in Rome. Now, in the face of San Bartholomew's skin here, you can tell Michelangelo's self-portrait here. There's Michelangelo here. Now, there was a cardinal which didn't like Michelangelo at all, was always criticizing him. So Michelangelo couldn't stand this guy any longer. He didn't say anything but took his revenge. How?
Put him in the face.
Here, in the corner, there's a man with a snake all over the body, the ears of a donkey, represented as the doorman of hell. This is the perfect portrait of that cardinal. How about that? Now what happened? All Saints' Day, year 1541, the chapel was inaugurated. In the chapel, the popes or the cardinals looking at the cardinal here, of course, laughing about it. As you can imagine, the cardinal himself got furious. He went straight to the Pope, then he no, Pope is too much. So why don't you commission Michelangelo at least to take my face off? And the Pope, which loved Michelangelo very much, replied, well, Cardinal, if Michelangelo puts you down the purgatory, you know, I'm a Pope, in a couple of prayers, I may have helped you. But since Michelangelo put you down the hell, you know perfectly, popes have no power, so forget about it. That's why I'm still here. Huh? 5 years to do it, 4 years for the ceiling. That's Michelangelo work of art inside the chapel. Since Michelangelo did it, he's working here, of course, has got the authority of evidence. Even on those days, but even nowadays, artists coming over here to study Michelangelo anatomy, to study Michelangelo's technically. Chapel is being cleaned up. You see why? Because the chapel was lit up for about 500 years with oil lamps, with candles, which made the dark patina all over. Few details. Our Lord before and after the cleaning. You see what the difference? I got a clue.
Wow,
you see up
beautiful.
here, these rectangular spots have been left uncleaned, so you can tell the difference. So it was all this dirty all the way through.
Look at that.
See? Now this is very important. You're gonna enter the chapel through this door over here, right? The chapel does not end where you see this marble rail here. It's larger. In the chapel, I'll give you free time. Going towards the chapel, I show to you the way to go to the washrooms too, in case some of you need to get there. Now, free time in here. We're gonna meet at what time, I'll tell you later, so we're gonna be by. But the meeting point, I'll tell you right now. And we're gonna meet right at...
And if you look down to the left, there's the brick.
Typical building in Naples. This is where people live. All high rises. No one-family homes. No two-family homes.
This is a course here.
No three-family homes.
We're going to come out on the waterfront in a few minutes so you can really get some nice pictures. We'll stop so you can get out a minute and take some pictures of the pretty spot. And the Vesuvius is in front of you. And there is, do you want to see Isla Capri? Look out, straight out to the right. You see that island? It looks like a girl, the bust line of a girl, her hair floating in the water, her face and her hair. Look, from left is the bust line, then comes the face and the hair floating to the right. Do you see it?
Look at this.
That's Capri. That's what we figured.
Where was she sitting?
I hope these pictures come out. This is the day in Naples. Vesuvius. I'm doing a terrible job. And you see all these people on the rail are all people that are on the tour with us. They're all very nice. And there's more of Naples in the background. Look at it. Naples is huge. Huge city. It is a big city, but I'm not really impressed with it. It's very, New York kind of. Where's Michael? Oh, there you are. Hi, hon.
Hey, what's going on? Here, take me this way.
Okay.
Right in front of,
Right in front of what?
Mount Vesuvius.
Yeah, the two biggest eruptors, Mount Vesuvius and Michael's Coulee.
What are you going to do?
That's Mount Vesuvius there behind Dee Dee. Just like you, honey.
This is a rooftop of someone's home. by the Bay of Naples. This is the rooftop.
Well, we have time to get them when we come back.
You will, but you're only going to get local ones seen. You can't get other areas. Yeah, well, right by the juice place, there's a stand. Right
Okay,
there.
when we get the juice, we'll do that then.
Anytime, I'll tell you a little. Pompeii è pre-Roman town. Already 700 years before the birth of Christ, around the main square, we find the first news of happening to local people. They were called Osci people, Campanian people. The etymology of Pompeii derives from the Osci language, Pompe, which means five. So 5 villages around the main square. Then around 6th century before Christ in Pompeii, we find the presence of Greeks. The Greeks, they start first on the island of Ischia, and then little by little they occupy the entire Gulf of Naples.
That's Mount Vesuvius. This is really some of Pompeii here. We're going to go inside.
Don't waste a lot of film on it.
Because during the evening, when the moon was up, they reflected the moonlight. They illuminated street and sidewalks, street lights, cat's eyes. So today, that we find on motor roads all along, reflectors. Today, normally in the center of the town, we find a square. Securely around the square, we find a church, city hall, marketplace. So, religious, political, commercial center of the town. So this is the Foro Romano from the last Pompeian period. Of course, to appreciate the square, we have to use our imagination and think of it to look 2,000 years ago. In the last period, the whole square was all paved with travertine, as you can see on the ground, between marble and stone. It was all white. Doric and above Ionic. Above it was a corridor, the ambulatorium. In a rainy day, Pompeian people could walk around this colonnade because it ran around on 3 sides of the square. The 4th side in front of us, like a Campidoglium, was closed by the temple of Jupiter, the king of gods. A typical Italic temple with a double stairs in front. Commerce with all the Mediterranean and the Orient. Also in the Roman period, the commercial language was Greek language. Children at school at the same time used to study Greek and Latin. At the end of the market was a lady with the name of Eumachia, it's written on the right hand side there. The etymology derives from the Greek, Eumachia, good, great lady. In effect she was. If we consider that during Greek period the women were almost segregated, they lived apart from men. But this lady in town was so able to put together some sort of union. When they started the excavation, most of the marble that was here, when we reached the house of people living around this area, they did not give great importance to the ancient monuments. They employed the marble, not considering the great damage that they caused to the ancient monuments. Close the square of Triumphal dedicated to the Emperor Tiberius. As well known, Tiberius lived in the period of Christ and the last years of his lifetime we find stepping stones. Romans were very clever and practical people. So when they had to cross the street, they would not go down and then go up again on the sidewalk. But in a rainy day, being there no sewers all the time, so streets were in under rainwater, they used to cross the street above the stepping stone without wetting shoes and sand. And on the ground, where the lady standing there, on both sides, on the ground.
Malloy. We use the horn, they use the pichadille.
What's it for?
And ward away evil spirits.
Yeah, that'll ward away.
That'll ward away any.
Illusion, and then on both sides, two snakes symbol immortality. Behind here, we have a small kitchen with some original cooking pots. Cooking pots in bronze, sometimes in copper and tin. Then again, behind the kitchen, a little room called Venerium after Venus, the goddess of love. In this little room, 3 panels with erotic paintings and other pictures like one we saw at the entrance this time in Marble.
You sure know how to hurt a guy, don't you?
That's in glass.
Yeah, eat your hearts
No, I
out.
wouldn't bother now because you're inside there. You could try it. You could move down.
We're working on the excavation still.
The barocco, the Roman paintings, picture the Cola di Dieter, imitation of marble, prospetti, mythological subject, and any Cola di Dieter. The prospetti that you find here is not the Rinascimento prospetti codified by Brunelleschi or Jean Venay, which is perfectly.
A lot of the rooms were small, so they would put these pictures on the walls to make the rooms look a lot bigger than they actually were. These are the original paintings. Yeah, this is a view from the top of the Funiculare in Capri. Again, that's Mount Vesuvius back there. Right there, and that's Naples. This is the Bay of Naples. It's beautiful. The village below.
Movie camera, that's the best. We should have bought our movie camera.
Right, yeah, we always have one.
It's the best. Okay, if you're not taking a picture, get out of the way.
He's in charge. Oh, I'm charge.
Yeah. Hey, Dave.
There is a small church at the end of the road.
Take a tour bus for that.
Yes.
We did it on the Isle similar to this.
Another present.
Yeah, we were there last month. One more, right?
This is the tracks for the Funiculare. See, it pulls the cable car all the way up the hill, all the way from down in the city, which is all the way down there. Marina. Yeah, just give you a little flavor of some of the signs here. Here you go, see if you could translate that. Pizza tutte le ore. What happened?
They have 2 bathrooms, and they have like 40 women standing in line, and you got to pay 500 lira to pee.
You didn't tell her?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I didn't know that you wanted.
Anyway, the white villa is
a museum. It's not Allen Place. I will show you Allen Place later on. The white building over there is a museum, but it used to be a watching tower, a great watching tower. That's why they need to build a staircase to go up. Then recently, at the beginning of this century, they also built this beautiful, panoramic, breathtaking, unforgettable Mamma Mia Drive. And I'm so happy to tell you that we are going to drive along this road. Great! Yeah. Beautiful! So we're going up there.
Open air bus?
During the day we will do so many things, as I told you. We will be visiting to visit everything in the village. What?
With a black marking pen with a...
Yes, but anyway, we will have our map with us, so we will never get lost. Now, thank you for your cooperation. Thank you very much. Now, the only thing I want to tell you before we start our walking tour is that the way to the other side is downhill a little bit. And of course, not like the sun, but also like the lemons. There are so many lemons growing over here. Limoncello. We'll have chance to try the limoncello. Let's go this way. Andiamo this way. Check your time. It's 10 o'clock. So we're all at the same time. Yep, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock on the nose.
You know, Ralph, I wanted to do our bedroom up in Ireland.
Yeah?
We go walking down the private streets of Capri.
Goodness.
And there you go. Look at this.
Look at this.
Oh, boy. Yeah. The what? What she said was 900? Monastery?
Are you speechless?
Yes.
Beautiful.
How come you say see if you're speechless?
There's an old monastery.
It's absolutely, today the view is fantastic. Much better than yesterday and the day before yesterday.